story about my grandfather. My grandfather Hesse was the local county sheriff. And back in the early teens and 20s, he and my grandmother, no, this was before he married my grandmother. He was the county sheriff, a deputy. And one Sunday he was at church, and he happened to be walking up to the back porch of the church. And here was the preacher, a very well-liked, highly respected, loved preacher, with his hand down the bodice of one of the young teenage girls patient on the back steps of the church. And my grandfather told my grandmother later that he felt like grabbing the son of a bitch and throwing him off the porch right then and there. But he said he held his temper. The preacher gathered himself. My grandfather walked up by him into the church. Because he said, I knew eventually he would do something where I'd be able to prosecute, but I couldn't prove it. He said, even though, in his time, you wonder about the testimony of this young girl, I think he could have proved it. But he did nothing until, within a year, a young man came knocking at the door one night and said he'd been out with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend had told him things about the local preacher. And he had testimony. And he had an office. And that very night, my grandfather went down and arrested that preacher, threw him in the local county jail. And they eventually convicted him and got him sent to the penitentiary in the state mental hospital. But it turns out his mode of operation, his daughters would have a slumber party. They would be in the girl's bedroom, and he'd show up in the middle of the night in his nightshirt, start reading scripture, and all kinds of weird things would happen with these young teenage girls in the community. That was what came out in the testimony. So should my grandfather have confronted that, taken that thing to court when he couldn't prove it, he thought, early on, and prevented this thing from becoming eventually a far bigger scandal. But even when he did finally arrest the preacher and get him tossed, there was literally half the congregation hated my grandfather for ruining the life of this wonderful preacher by getting this guy convicted and tossed away. So you see the issues we get into with confrontation. When can we prove it? When can we not? When should we keep silence? When can we not? All kinds of issues there. To repeat, but if you do know about it, do nothing other than turn your ears into a grave and cover it until you are appointed to be judged and to punish by virtue of your office. Now, Luther lived in a time of monarchy and clearly demarcated hierarchical offices. And we live in democracies where citizens are expected to act on things. So I don't know how we should really run with that. But the very next line, people are called slanderers who are not content with knowing a thing, but go on to assume jurisdiction. God, therefore, would have such behavior banned. But you say, shall I not say something if it is the truth? Why do you not make your accusation to regular judges? I cannot prove it publicly, so I might be silenced and turned away in a harsh manner. You see the problem? What Luther says here in the Commandment is if you cannot prove it, you can't talk about it until you can prove it. And prove it properly, and that's where we're going next. That's kind of tough language sometimes for some of us to hear.
Especially if there are children involved.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you... Yeah, our courts...
Our daughter's a Christian counselor. By the time the children get into counseling, they have normally been sexually abused. They are abusing drugs and alcohol to cover up the sexual abuse, and a lot of things have... So there's such a hesitancy to step in until it's almost too late. The damage has to happen.
Yeah, you can't
If that's
protect
the
them.
process that's being laid out.
But the flip side is there are a lot of idealistic young social workers
Yes.
who will not factor in the possibility that children can and do maliciously lie.
Yes,
That's exactly.
That's where the basic.
Yeah, we can see this on, I think even our little Augsburg group here has experienced these kinds of things on both sides.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, I was going to say that apart from these dramatic and heinous violations of
But
the
there's still
law,
all the
how
small
about,
little stuff.
how about the general and common discourse? I think in that kind of setting, Luther's words are absolutely apt, because how many times have you seen the dynamic where a group turns against someone, either to scapegoat them or to, and it's all done in the back room. It's all done with unsubstantiated accusation. Well, I heard this about so-and-so from this person and this person. I couldn't believe it, but now I'm hearing it from you,
And never going to the person.
and never going to
Never going to the person and never
never
taking it to proper jurisdiction.
proper
That's
jurisdiction.
the whole issue.
That's
If
right.
you have it, and if you can take it to proper jurisdiction and gather the witnesses and make a case in point.
Yeah.
Continuing. And this is the key of the 8th commandment. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. False witness, then, is everything that cannot be properly proved. That cannot be properly proved. How? You have to wait when you know until you can properly prove it. No one shall make public or declare for truth what is not obvious by sufficient evidence. Therefore, if you meet an idle tongue that betrays and slanders someone, contradict such a person promptly to his face so that he may blush.
So making the person blush is.
So we are called to stand for the best interests of our neighbor, that external neighbor, person away from us, who has been, how much of our public discourse goes on in society is basically slandering other people, not present or present. I mean, actually, the world's going to get quite a bit quieter if anybody just starts paying attention to
Oh,
what's saying.
wouldn't that be awful? A little quieter world.
So, I went to a meeting programming on one channel. I went to a meeting over at the Senex headquarters down in Indian River Heights this morning before I came here. And the radio was on. And, it was one of those talk shows, and it was all slanted. So, okay. So you see that it is directly forbidden to speak any evil of our neighbor. However, evil must not go unpunished. For in matters of justice, necessity requires one to speak of evil, to prefer charges, to investigate, and to testify. So we're stuck with it, aren't we? We have a call to do, but we have a call to be very careful in our doing. It seems to me. If someone reports to you what this or that person has done, what do? Teach him to go and admonish that person personally if he has seen the deed himself. Now we're getting into understanding